Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk and answer any questions that we may have about the pairing. Um, so, Ms. Frazier, have you read all those books? I'm assuming you read them all, right?
No, I have not. I read a lot of books at once, but that was a lot for me to read all of those books at the same time. So no, I have not, but I do have them here, so right in there. So now I can read them all. So
It's
the
so good
only
to
one that
meet
I've
you.
actually, hmm?
I'm sorry, keep going.
I said the only one I've actually read was Legendborn.
Okay,
So
okay. And the book, I think it was Grown. I've seen that book so many times on different pages
hmm
and different, author pages and writer pages. And oh, there's Sydney. She's gonna come on here as well.
Figured
There
it
you go.
out.
I see you.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're fine. You're fine. And so we were just talking about the books, and I thought you did such an excellent job. And the reason we wanted to do this was because we thought it would be fun to just talk about what grown folks do on Fridays and Saturdays sometimes, especially during COVID, which is to crack open a bottle of wine and, read a book or watch a movie and just relax. I'm sure COVID has there are some things, of course, that have hurt the wine industry, but the fact that I'm assuming people are consuming quite a bit of wine because they're home and, and the
Yes.
kids are home. And when you have kids at home, you consume wine. That happens. So I think, it was just excellent to talk to you and to hear you give that pairing. And I just wanted to learn more about your companies. So if you don't mind, just tell us about Bliss Books and Wine, and then we'll talk about KC Wineworks.
okay. Bliss Books and Wine was established in 2019, like I said in the video. So that's when we did our grand opening. It's been a dream for years, and then my sister, who is also my business partner, gave me a little nudge and said, "Let's do this." And so that's kind of how we kind of got started. And so it just really came out of necessity, like you said, Michelle. As a grown up, you just need a place to go to have a nice glass of wine and read a book. And there were no places like that for me to go, so it was nowhere that I could go to where I can just sit and just relax, sip on my wine, drink my book without really being bothered if I don't want to be bothered, or just a place to hang out with my girlfriends. And so that's kind of how we created Bliss Books and Wine. It was just based off of that theory. It was nowhere. And so we created it.
And I love that. That's innovation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is excellent. So how are things going now? How have you pivoted because of COVID?
Correct. So when we first started, we started with a lot of pop-ups.
Mm-hmm.
So we did about 3 pop-ups before COVID hit. And during our pop-ups, we would feature an author, and they would come and do like an author talk and talk about their book and sell their books. And we had a bartender, we had wine flowing, we had friends, we were all chilling and vibing and having a really good time. Then COVID hit, screeching halt, right? We couldn't do that anymore. And so we pivoted we just put everything online.
Okay.
So we're strictly online right now. And that kind of eliminated the wine aspect for us. However, if one can say a blessing that came out of COVID, but it was a blessing that came out of COVID, we were able to reach outside of the Kansas City area. So when we do all of our events virtually and hold our book club meetings and our author events, well, we're having people from different cities and, different states and all that stuff come in and join in. So we're really creating our Bliss community that way. And we're selling books to people, in Hawaii and New York and
Awesome.
San Francisco and all these places. People are finding us and purchasing books from us. So
that is excellent. That is excellent. Anybody out there, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in our chat. That's on Boot Central, or you can chat with us on the StreamYard platform as well. So, Sydney, tell me about the wine business.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's definitely it's been interesting, with COVID and all these changes and everything happening. So we have kind of completely flipped our business model since, the shutdown back in March, being closed for almost 2 months, and then trying to navigate a way to safely open back up to the public has been quite the challenge. But we're making it through. We definitely do. We are seeing people still coming out and supporting local, which is amazing. We're super grateful for all of our regulars, all of our customers. So as you said, everybody needs alcohol. You gotta get your wine. So yeah, it's been interesting, but it's going well, and we're hoping to keep it up. So yeah.
That is excellent. That is excellent. So we have a question. We have a prize that we want to give. We want to give away a bottle of wine from KC Wineworks, as well as a tumbler from Bliss Books and Wine. And so there is a question at the bottom of the screen. And for those of you who want to participate, the question is, who wrote the book, The Truth is in the Wine? You can email the answer to events@prsolutionsllc.org. That's the first question. We have another question that we'll put up on the screen in a couple of minutes, but take a look at that one. We want to support the wine, KC Wineworks, as well as the ladies at Bliss. And Lene, you and your sister. So you're working together, you're building this empire. How's it going?
It's going. It's always fun when you work with family. We tend to stick to our traditional roles, and I try not to be the big sister and boss her around all the time, but most days I'm the big sister and I boss her around all the time, which is how we ended up here.
And you guys are doing a great job. Let's talk about books. I mean, what are the sales? What are things looking like from a marketing perspective when it comes to the sale of books?
Things have picked up, as Lanisha said, because of COVID. Everyone's kind of trapped indoors, and they need something to do. So when the summer rolled around and people were still indoors, we had all the unrest that was going on in the country. So the anti-racist books shot through the roof. Bookstores all over were just selling out. We couldn't keep book stock. So that gained a lot of exposure for us. And we just, like Lanisha said, grew our community from there. So it's fun. I've always been a book nerd. So I love coming up with books to keep our shelves stocked. And we take a lot of requests in from our community. Mm-hmm. So if there is a book that they can't find on our website, if they email us, there's a form on the website as well, and we'll add it to the site. So it's a real community setting. It's like the community is invested in us, and they're determining what we sell, which it's wonderful. They feel a part of it.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. We have a question. How does an author get featured on your site?
We get that a lot, so, which is a great thing, because part of our mission is to, when we were doing things locally, was to feature local authors, but we also have a great interest in featuring independent authors. All the big names don't have to get the shine all the time, and if we can provide that platform for authors that are starting out, we are more than willing to do it. So you can email us at info@blissbooksandwine.com. And if our distributor carries it, because right now we're doing everything online, if Ingram carries it, we will add it to our website. And once we get rolling with our brick and mortar, we can try to get it on our shelf physically.
Also, we also host author spotlight events where an author can come into our book club and our Zoom meetings that we have virtually, and then that author can speak about their books to our community that way. So we do host those events.
That is excellent. As an independent author, you can only imagine how tough it is in order to get your books out there. I remember we have 2,000 members on the Black Writers Workspace, and someone asked the question of how do you get your book in a bookstore? And when I tell you it went radio silent, these are people who are very active, but we don't know. I mean, I published my first book. I had no clue about publishing a book. I wanted to write, I wrote it, and then I was stuck with, okay, what do I do now? How do I get in bookstores? How do I get in Walmart online or, Amazon? I had no idea. And so it's really great to know that you have, this platform where you are highlighting authors, whether they're bestsellers or not, because there are thousands of new books that hit the shelf every day and probably hundreds of thousands globally. So we're competing with everyone. And that's why events like this are so important. And so, from the one perspective, is it, I'm a marketing person, so I'm always asking about marketing. But Sydney, do you find that your demographic is the same? People who love books, love wine?
Yeah, I think for the most part, we our tasting room, we kind of like it to be like a comfortable place where people do feel that they can come, bring a book, bring your laptop, hang out. Like we've got a comfy couch, like definitely like we want to have an environment for people to do that here as well. So yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, I just really feel like wine, reading, it is kind of the same market, if you will. Yeah, very similar.
I think so. I think so. That was why I wanted to do this. I thought it would be fun. I have friends who we drink wine, not too much, but we do drink our share. And we, it's something that you grow. It grows on you as you grow, as you mature. Understanding the wines, and also liqueurs, all types of beverages. And so that's something that I thought was pretty cool. You guys did an excellent job. Tell me, each one of you, what's your favorite book?
So right now, my favorite, and I know Lanisha will laugh at me, but we just did our book discussion a couple of last month. Right now, my number one book is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I'm totally like standing over her. It was just a good motivational book for me. So that's my number one right now.
Okay, cool. Anybody else?
Are we doing like favorite book ever?
Ever.
I don't have one.
It doesn't
Ever?
matter.
Oh, that's hard.
Oh, ever.
Oh, that's hard.
Ever. That book you read twice. Any book you've ever read twice. Green Eggs and Ham, I will accept it. I'm fine with that.
So I guess really the only book that I've read twice, because I usually never reread things. It's part of a trilogy and it's very nerdy, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's the Kingsbridge series and they're based like in medieval times. So it's like, it's dorky, but I love it. It's great.
I love it. Manisha?
Oh, I'm a fiction geek. So I'm into, the urban fiction, urban fantasy, even Harry Potter. I've read Harry Potter probably like 3 times. Books like that. The Immortal Instruments, Harry Potter, Thrones,
I love it.
Thrones, something like that. It's just all of those nerdy, geeky fiction books. I love them. So I don't have a favorite. Yeah. I don't have a favorite because I just read them all. So, and if I like it, then I'll go back and read it again.
Well, so what is the perfect wine for the nerdy geeky book? I don't think you guys covered that. What is that? The next one.
Yes.
I do have a couple of questions, though. I do have a couple of questions that came in. You guys have time to answer them?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you sell ebooks? That was one of the questions.
We don't. We sell audiobooks, but right now we don't have any ebooks.
Okay.
We want to. We're getting there. Stay tuned.
Sounds good. And Sydney, are you shipping the wine? I know the answer is yes, but I know it's a limited number of states. So you want to talk a little bit about shipping your wine?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do ship to many different states in the country online through our website. We use a third-party shipper called Vino Shipper. So it's super simple. You just go to our website, you can kind of select the ones that you want to purchase. And then we have at the top all the states that we can ship to kind of listed out. So if you don't see your state listed, unfortunately, there are different liquor restrictions and liquor laws in different states. So we can't ship to all of them. They're not as fun, you know, they're not letting in alcohol, but it is what it is. So, but for the most part, yes, pretty much any state we can ship to. So, yeah.
Sounds good. So the first question, who wrote the book, The Truth is in the Wine? Please email your answer to us. And we have one more question and we're going to let the ladies go. But I have really thoroughly enjoyed this opportunity and just hope that we can stay in contact with each other, you know, and continue to support each other. I love, ladies, what you're doing with your bookstore. Casey, Sydney, thank you so much for being a part of the event. So I'm just going to read the second question. And once again, you send your answers over to me. We're going to give you a bottle of Casey Wineworks wine. You're going to win that or a tumbler. Do y'all have those tumblers you can show again? They are so cute. Love those. Too cute. The second question is, and this is a funny one, so forgive me, but what actor played the role of Drunk Troy in movies, in a movie based, this isn't written right, that's bad on my part, in a movie based on Terry McMillan's book, Waiting to Excel. So take a look at that. We're looking for who is Drunk Troy. Who's the actor? And you can send that answer over to us at events@prsolutionsllc.org. So thank you, ladies. It was so great. And you guys have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks, you
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks for having us on.